Hey everyone, it's Tessa Rose here. Just wanted to update you. I am in Nelson, New Zealand, where all the flooding is taking place. I'm not right in the city centre, I'm just a little bit out in a suburb. So right now we're just fine. I mean, the schools are closed, so my children aren't going to school today. I don't know if they'll open tomorrow either, since the rain's supposed to carry on. But yeah, just updating you guys that we're absolutely fine. God's taking care of us. He's doing what he needs to do, whatever that may be with the flooding. But we just have to go with it. He's got all the people out there helping everyone else. He's got people, places set up like Saxton Field for emergencies when you can take your family and your pets. And tomorrow they're talking about opening up Trafalgar Centre right in Nelson for some emergency stuff as well. So it's all, God's still got things taken care of with helping people as well. Roads have fallen away, is what I've seen. They've got people working on it constantly. Our road was getting flooded out yesterday, but they had some people come in and unblock the drainage and all that, and so that's more under control now. But yeah, it's just, even though this is all happening, God's still helping people. God's still putting others there to help each other. I mean, He still cares, He still loves, and He still shows that. Even if people were completely evacuated overnight and stuff like that. In the other direction towards Richmond, where our main wall is, as far as I know, things are still okay over that side. There's very minor flooding. Out country way, it seems to be pretty okay as well. It just seems to be city centre because of our big rivers. And Nelson is on low land, so it gets flooded very easily anyway. But surrounding areas so far seem to be okay. So I just wanted to let you know that things are okay. No one's died as far as I know. No one's drowned. Everyone seems to be on top of it with helping each other. I know some people are saying they're missing some pets, but they're just hoping that they'll be okay somewhere. Hopefully, God will have his hand on people's pets as well. I have no idea what the school is like, especially the one my kids are going to. They were talking about, they were thinking the pool might like flood out. When they did their assessment this morning, they was talking about surface flooding and just things like that, and they wanted to keep to the mayor's rules of just sort of like only have to go out if you have to, and all that sort of stuff. So me and the kids don't have to go out today. So we're just staying at home. But other than that, it just seems to be all okay. My family, it sounds like my family is okay as well, like my siblings and stuff. I haven't heard anything wrong and that sort of thing. So yeah, sounds like my family are fine, which is really cool because I just saw my older brother. So he seems to be doing all right because he lives out country, out on farm and stuff. But they seem to be doing fine. It's his birthday, so I baked him muffins. I got him some presents, and so he came and picked them up. But yeah, it just really seems to be so far really just centered in Nelson City. But yeah, there's a lot of workers, there's a lot of people taking control of the situation, making sure everyone's safe. putting out the warnings. They've had businesses closed today, like, the government ones, like libraries and things like that. They're not open today. So they said that we'll hear back on things like that later. But I think a lot of the other businesses are still running. But you just got to be real careful. I haven't actually myself gone into Nelson to see the damage or anything of the flooding. I've just seen the videos that have popped up. I don't think I'll go in there anytime soon, but who knows how long this is going to take. I think it's supposed to rain for a few days. So I already knew this was happening because I had someone tell me a few months back that we were going to be having floods like Australia did a few months ago when they had them in Sydney. So I won't say who gave the prophetic words. I don't want you to harass them or anything. And anyway, so yeah, it's just whatever God does, At the end of the day, His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna do what He says and play the game, really. And we all know that it won't be like Noah's flood because God said that it won't ever happen again. But natural disasters happen. And God has His reasons. Sometimes He shares and sometimes He doesn't. I know everyone says at the end of the day, oh, it's all because of sin, but, at the end of the day, God might have other reasons as well. Just like, other disasters that happen all around the world, God has His reasons. We just gotta do what God says while He's doing His thing and play it all out. And we should be all okay. And whatever happens is whatever happens. But so far, things are just, shocking people, I guess, in a way. It's a bit of a shock, but physically, I'm pretty sure that people are unharmed because there's not been any news update on that. But in my area, it's all okay. It's just, yeah, Nelson City. But, it'll end, it'll dry out, things will move on. And I'm not trying to sound insensitive or anything, because it must be traumatic for people who have got their houses completely flooded out. That's just like their whole life. But what can you do? At the end of the day, God owns the world. He can do whatever He likes. But He still shows He cares and loves everyone because He's still got emergency services out there helping people. And He's not going to stop helping people, whether He does things or not. Like, it doesn't matter. His love at the end of the day, He still loves everyone. He's still compassionate towards everyone. And He wants to still be there. But we're not at God's level, so He's the only one who understands why these things have to happen. And if you just come back and say, oh, it's sin, it's sin, it's sin, maybe so, but still, we're not on God's level. He makes these decisions. He does what He wants to do. He does what He needs to do. And that is that. So you can make all your assumptions in the world, but you're still not God. I'm still not God. We just share what God wants to share, and we're supposed to shine His light and love one another, love thy neighbour, help each other. But right now, He just wants me and the kids to stay where we are. If He wants me to go out and help anyone, then, He will do that. He will get that to happen. He just wants me to look after my kids, carry on with the channel. If anyone wants a free prophetic word, I can still do that. I'm still open to that. No one really asks for one though. Only once ever in a blue moon, that's alright. But it's still available, it's still there for everyone. And yeah, but and there's always other people who get prophetic words from, but I'm just one that's available. So at the end of the day, all God really wants from us is to love each other, help each other where we can, do what He wants us to do for His will to be completed, and He will do what He needs to do for Him to complete His will. So, as He always says, do not fear about anything because He has it under control. He's got His hand still on the earth, He's still protecting everyone. And, there's a lot of people who don't follow God, but He still protects them, doesn't He? Because He's still protecting the whole world. He hasn't made it explode yet, has He? Nothing's gone to the extreme. Yes, there's deaths every day and there's disasters and there's different things, but He's still there taking control. He's still looking after the situation. He's still looking after everyone. He still looks after the dead, even. So, we just have to do what we need to do that He's asked us to do. And, we should be fine at the end of the day. He says, who can harm us? And, at the end of the day, even if we all die, He still takes care of our spirits. He takes care of everything. So even if we have natural disasters in the world, terrorist attacks or anything bad, He still looks after people. He still makes sure everyone is okay. And if they're not okay, He still looks after them when they're gone back up to Him. You know? So if there is anyone in New Zealand who is feeling scared or worried about all this, or anywhere, just don't be. Just trust God that He knows what He's doing. Trust that He has this all under control and that, we know that today is not going to be the end of the world. Well, it doesn't really seem like it anyway, so. Even if it is, He's still taking care of people when it comes to the time of end of world stuff. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything. Because He's the one who worries about tomorrow. He's the only one who knows what happens tomorrow or the next 5 minutes even. You don't know what happens in 5 minutes. Only God knows. Because He's taking care of us. He is still taking care of us at the end of the day. Some of us may reject Him. Some of us may not want Him. The world goes around. He's still protecting people. You're still alive. He may want people to come to Him. And that's what we're doing with ministry, to try and bring people in. But people just think that He only just looks after believers, but He looks after everyone because He sees constantly. He's got His hand on the world. He's got everything under control. He still does what He needs to do. Satan may be here playing his games and doing whatever he does. God still rules him. He talks about in Job with the Leviathan. He still controls the Leviathan. He controls Satan at the end of the day anyway. if you read all through Job, for example, when they're having meetings and stuff in heaven talking about Job, God still gives God still gives Satan his instructions. So whatever happens, it just shows throughout the Bible, God still looks after everyone, no matter what the situation is. So I wouldn't worry. Even if it did completely flood out my area and my car was destroyed or something, doesn't matter. I've got insurance. That's what God created insurance for as well. So it's just a material item. Yes, I do need it to drop my kids off, pick them up, do my stuff like groceries and pay bills or whatever. Doesn't matter. God will always have different solutions to things. I want a new car anyway, but it's not a thing right now. But yeah, it just wanted to update you just to say, everything's still fine where I am. And Nelson seems to be still surviving. It's still on its legs, even though it's got water rushing through it. But we just gotta let God do what He's gotta do. And when He's done what He's done, it'll be all okay. We'll be back to normal. The acid will dry up. There'll be a pickup crew, I'm assuming, of all the debris fixing up things. I know they were talking about today, and there were some photographs as well on Facebook up the brook of like a bridge had fallen through and there was wires exposed from under the ground, but they were onto that straight away. And then there was some other a video of a road completely just sinking away to nothing, big holes throughout the road. People are still alive. We just need to mend it up and we're on our way again. Yes, I know it costs taxpayer dollars, but God owns the money. God owns everything. He'll sort it out. He will sort it out. But, yeah. I've seen some cars in the river in the whole flooding. Hopefully they got insurance though. But again, we shouldn't worry. At the end of the day, God's got it under control. We just do not worry. We do not fret. We do not worry. He's there to talk to him about your worries, your fears, to give him all of that stuff, and you should do that. But there's no point in stressing out on the things that we can't control. And I'm not saying I'm perfect in that. I have issues in my own life that I feel stressed out by and feel like I have no control and spiral out of control at times. But really, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do. If God's doing something in my life, He'll just do it till He feels that it's accomplished. Yes, and He has support people out there for me. He has people for me to talk to. And, He's still got His hand on everything. So I've spent enough of your time blabbing on, blah blah. But yeah, just wanted to update you, and we'll see you next time for another word. That would be cool, because he's got some pretty cool words out there. I just have to do it around the children. They're not like fighting or emotional messes. But it works out. It's a lot better than what it was when my youngest was like a little baby. It was a lot harder to do things back then. But yeah, I have to go because my youngest is having a wee cry. He'll be stressing out of it. Not much actually, because he does it a lot. I think it's just more for my attention, and that's fine. It's what happens. But we'll see you next time. See ya.